Good morning, everyone. Please remain standing. We're not standing yet, so if you would stand, please, for prayers by the chaplain before we start the meeting.
Deputy Presiding Member, Councillors, Officers, and ladies and gentlemen, let us pray. We give thanks to God this morning for all the work that is now being conducted by our Torfaen Council, and that God will guide them in all their endeavours and all their deliberations in every possible way. And in this we thank you for the wonderful work.
Please be seated. Thank you. I'd like to remind you all that this council meeting is being broadcast live over the internet, so we are all on camera. Please be aware you may be visible on screen when people around you are speaking, and please remember to speak clearly into your microphones. This meeting is available to view online now and in the future, whenever and wherever people want to watch it. So there is no need for any other filming of the meeting to take place. We welcome the use of the Welsh language at meetings. I have had no request for people to speak Welsh today, so this meeting will be conducted in English only. I'd like to welcome everyone attending the meeting today and anyone watching the meeting via the webcast. Please can all mobile phones and any other noisy devices be put on silent. If there is an emergency alarm, follow the green signs and go to the ground floor of the Civic Centre car park. If we have any motions or amendments during the meeting, I will need them to be clear, please, before we go to the vote. We go to item agenda 1, appointment of presiding member. It's on page 3. Could I have a nomination, please, for a presiding member? Yes?
I nominate Jessica Pell.
Second. Well, it's been nominated and seconded. Any other nominations? No? We'll go to the vote then. Can I have a show of hands, please? All those for? Anybody counting them? All those against? One against. Any abstentions? One abstention. So thank you, members. Jessica Powell has been nominated as the presiding officer. Thank you. Where do I go next?
We go to agenda item 2.
I did that. Okay. Agenda item 2. Is there a nomination for a deputy presiding member? You can't do that. So Giles Davis has been nominated. Is there a seconder for Giles? Right, thank you. It's been seconded. Any other nominations? No? Right, we'll go for the vote. All those in favour, for? Thank you. Those against? Abstentions? Right, 2 abstentions. Right, Giles Davis has been elected as the Deputy Presiding Officer. Right, item agenda 3.
Sorry, I just want to say that if you have the circumstances, you'll chair the rest of this meeting.
Okay. Right, in the circumstances, I've been asked to stay in the chair and carry on with the meeting. So please be patient with me. Thank you. Item agenda 3, apologies for absence.
Yes, apologies have been received from Councillor John Haller, Jason O'Connell and Councillor Alan Slade.
Thank you. Right, item agenda 4, declarations of interest. Delith Harris, do you have any advice for members, please?
Thank you, Chair. All members potentially have the same personal interest in appointing members to positions which would attract senior salaries. However, this interest is not prejudicial in accordance with the Code, and therefore members can stay and vote. If all members could just confirm that. Thank you. I'm not aware of any other interests. Thank you.
Right. Can you all make sure any interests are also written on the form, but none were declared, were they? So they don't have to do that. Item agenda 5. Right, can I have a nomination for the leader for the year ahead?
Can I nominate Councillor Anthony Hunt?
Is there a seconder? Seconded. Are there any other nominations?
I nominate Councillor Burnett.
Councillor Burnett. Any other nominations?
Seconded.
Was there a seconder for Councillor Burnett? Yes, been seconded. Right. Seconded, so we have 2 nominations. Oh, Councillor
Madam
Evans?
Presiding Officer, can I request a recorded vote, please?
There's enough hands up. We can have a recorded vote. So, right, we'll have a recorded vote.
Okay.
Jacqueline?
Okay, Councillor Stuart Ashley.
Councillor Hunt?
Councillor Hugh Bevan.
Abstain.
Councillor Ron Burnett.
Councillor Burnett.
Are you doing it? Councillor Glyn Carron. Councillor Richard Clark.
Councillor Anthony Hunt?
Councillor Leonard Constance. Councillor Veronica Crick.
Councillor Anthony Hunt.
Councillor Fiona Cross.
Councillor Anthony Hunt.
Councillor David Daniels.
Councillor Anthony Hunt.
Councillor Giles Davis.
Councillor Anthony Hunt.
Councillor Cathy Evans.
Councillor Anthony Hunt.
Councillor Stephen Evans.
Councillor Anthony Hunt?
Councillor Stuart Evans.
Councillor Ron Burnett.
Councillor Joanne Gordon.
Councillor Anthony Hunt.
Councillor Elizabeth Haynes.
Abstain.
Councillor Anthony Hunt.
Councillor Anthony Hunt.
Councillor Gaynor James.
Councillor Anthony Hunt.
Councillor Gwyn Jenkins.
Ron Burnett?
He's not here. Can he have his vote? Gwyn Jenkins isn't here, is he?
Yeah, it's just. Yeah.
Councillor Mike Jeremiah.
Councillor Ron Burnett.
Councillor Alan Jones. Councillor Faye Jones.
Councillor Anthony Hunt.
Councillor Janet Jones.
Councillor Burnett.
Councillor Nicholas Jones.
Abstain.
Councillor Peter Jones.
Councillor Anthony Hunt?
Councillor Roberts Kemp.
Councillor Burnett.
Councillor Sue Malson.
Councillor Anthony Hunt.
Councillor Raymond Mills.
Abstain.
Councillor Richard Overton.
Abstain.
Councillor Mandy Owen.
Councillor Anthony Hunt.
Councillor Norma Parish.
Councillor Anthony Hunt.
Councillor Kelly Preston.
Councillor Anthony Hunt.
Councillor Emma Rapier.
Councillor Anthony Hunt.
Councillor Rose Seaborn.
Councillor Anthony Hunt.
Councillor Louise Shepherd.
Councillor Ronald Burnett.
Councillor Christopher Tew.
Ron Burnett.
Councillor Colette Thomas.
Councillor Anthony Hunt.
Councillor Dave Thomas.
Abstain.
Councillor Neil Waite.
Councillor Anthony.
Councillor Raymond Williams. Councillor David Yowell.
Councillor Anthony Hunt.
Right. Councillor Anthony Hunt at 25. Councillor Burnett 9. Abstention 6. So Anthony Hunt has been elected as the leader for the coming year. Would you like to say something at this stage, Councillor Hunt?
Thank you, and I think I'd like to start by thanking Norma for stepping in at the last minute to chair this meeting. I know it's not an easy thing, having been dropped into the chair of various meetings over the past few years, so thank you for the professional way that you've done that. So if I can just say a few very brief words, just to thank members for their support today as leader. There are a number of challenges that face us that I don't think we should ever seek to hide from. You've got the challenge of increasing inequality and child poverty. You've got the challenge of a looming climate emergency. And we've got a challenge of an increasingly divided nation. All those things need dealing with. All of them need dealing with an environment of declining resources. And I think it's right that we debate those as a council openly and honestly and never seek to hide from those challenges. But they do all tend to tempt us to rhetoric and our more base political instincts. And I just want to make an appeal this year, perhaps, to try and, instead of sort of harbouring division, to try and bring mutual understanding and healing to the society that we serve. I don't believe the solution to any of those challenges lies in egotistical or macho leadership that seeks to pretend that, a leader can ever be right all of the time, or that any leader can have all of the answers. I very much reject that sort of model of leadership. Instead, I really genuinely want to work together to address those challenges. So I'd just like to say to all members, whichever way they voted today, whichever group they're a part of, whatever their persuasions, whether they like me or don't, that doesn't matter. I'm here to serve all of you. and to serve all of the people that you serve in our communities. So my door is always open to you, and you're always welcome to come and speak to me, even if it's on an issue where we disagree. I like to think that we can move together and work together in a way that has respect even where we have differences. So thank you, and I look forward to serving you as your leader for the next year.
Thank you, Councillor Hunt. As our newly elected presiding officer has just come in, I'd like to invite her to take over if she wants to. Thank you, Jess. Thank you.
Good morning, members. Very sorry to be late. Obviously, the best possible day it could have been as well. So, anyway, I think we're picking up agenda item 6, election of deputy leader of the council. Can I invite nominations for the year ahead, please?
Second.
Are there any other nominations? We've got one. Okay, then. So, are all those in favour? Anybody against? Any abstentions? No. Okay, thank you. So that's approved. Agenda item 7, appointment of remaining cabinet members. Can I invite the leader to present the report?
Thank you, presiding member. Can I make the following appointments? As deputy leader, I'd also like to appoint Richard Clark to the portfolio for economy, skills and regeneration. For corporate governance and performance, I'd like to appoint Councillor Alan Jones. For the resources position, I'd like to appoint Councillor Kelly Preston. For the education position, I'd like to appoint Councillor David Yole. For children, families and communities, I'd like to appoint Councillor Mandy Owen. For the environment, I'd like to appoint Councillor Fiona Cross. And for adult services and housing, I'd like to appoint David Daniels. And at this point, I'd like to pay tribute to the work over the past 2 years on Cabinet of Councillor Veronica Crick. She's done that work with amazing intelligence, a thorough and forensic approach, and a good share of dignity and good nature as well. So I'd like to thank Veronica for all the work she's done on Cabinet and for all the work I know she'll continue to do as a valued member of this council.
Thank you. Do I have a seconder? Thank you. Okay, then can we have a show of hands, all those in favour? Anybody against? Any abstentions? Thank you, members. That's approved. Okay, agenda item 8 is political balance. I'm going to ask Nancy Southhead to present the report.
Thank you, members. Good morning. This is a standard report. It's an annual statutory requirement to inform members of political balance requirements and seek agreements for political balances for the year ahead. You should have had Appendix A circulated to you all before the meeting. And that shows the Labour group of 27 members, the Independent group 8 members, Conservative group 5 members, and individual independent non-group members 4. At the top of this sheet you'll see the committee breakdown and the seats allocated to each party. Of the 100 seats available over those combination of committees, 67 are for the Labour Party, 20 to the Independents and 13 for the Conservatives. So that I haven't got anything else to say unless anyone's got any questions. I'd just like to point you to the recommendation. The Council agrees the political balance and adopts the political balance calculations attached and has regard to them when appointing members to committees later on in the meeting. Leader?
I would like to move this report. In doing so, I would like to extend the offer to any independent members who wish to sit on committees that Richard, as Deputy Leader, and myself's door is always open to speak to you, because we wouldn't want to see you excluded from those.
Let's have a show of hands and to agree that the political balance. Thank you. We go on to agenda item 9, appointment of the
Madam Chair, if even though you said that those people in for, you didn't say those people who were against as well.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah, can we have a show of hands? Anybody against? Any abstentions? Thank you. Okay, agenda item 9, appointments of the chairs of the committees. Can I invite the leader to nominate the chairs?
Thank you, Presiding Member. To Chair of Planning, I'd like to appoint Norma Parish. To Chair of Licensing, I'd like to appoint Councillor Giles Davis. To Chair of Pensions, I'd like to appoint Councillor Glyn Caron. To Chair of Democratic Services, I'd like to appoint Councillor Ray Mills. To Chair of Cleaner, Overview and Scrutiny, I'd like to appoint Councillor Peter Jones. To Children and Young People's Overview and Scrutiny, I'd like to appoint Councillor Jessica Pell. And to Cross-Cutting Resources Overview and Scrutiny, I'd like to appoint Councillor Stuart Ashley. In addition, I believe the Conservatives' nomination for healthier scrutiny is for Councillor Ray Mills, and I'd like to defer to Councillor Hugh Bevan. Sorry, it says defer to Councillor Mills here. Confused me. And for the Prosperous Overview and Scrutiny Committee, I'd like to defer to Councillor Burnett to confirm that appointment.
Yes, thank you, Leader. Yeah, for Prosperous, I nominate Councillor Janet Jones.
Thank you. Do we have a seconder for those nominations? Thank you. Can I have a show of hands then? Those again? Those 4 even. Anybody against? Any abstentions? Thank you, members. Those are approved. Agenda item 10, committees, groups and other bodies. Members, the list has been circulated. So I've been asked, can we all show of hands to agree that list of nominations? Oh, sorry, Richard. Yeah.
Point out on, I did have it, on the Ethics and Standards Committee, it is beholden to appoint 3 members. There are 4 names listed there. The convention has been that it's been 2 Labour and the leading independent group, and as such I would propose that the 3 nominations be Veronica Crick, Steve Evans and Ray Mills. Ray Williams. See, catch it now. Ray Williams.
We're trying to find you.
Hey, members, Ronnie.
Thank you, Chair. Yeah. On the outside bodies, Gwyn Jenkins would like to come off the coalfield communities.
Oh, the outside body then.
Okay, we're going to take a we're going to take a vote on Richard's motion first, and then come back to it. Okay, so I do have a seconder for that.
Sorry, I meant to come in earlier. Can I nominate Councillor Nicholas Jones, please, for the Ethics and Standards Committee?
Right. Which way round to do it? Just a sec. Okay, what we're going to do, if we take Councillor Mills' nomination as an amendment to the motion, so we'll vote on that first and then vote on Richard's, okay? So the amendment is that Nicholas would sit on the Ethics and Standards, so we can have a seconder for that one to start with. Thank you. Okay, so if we have a vote on that one, all those in favour? Okay, those against? Any abstentions? Okay, so that's fallen, so now we'll vote on Richard's motion. So all those in favour? Thank you. Anybody against? Any abstentions? Okay, so Richard has been carried. Okay, so then if we go back to Councillor Burnett. He wants to come in, sorry, Madam.
Sorry, members. I just wanted to point out on the list on Audit Committee, the lay member, excuse me, John Baker, who was previously appointed. It says here he will continue to the full committee term, but actually in this next meeting, the council meeting to follow, we're appointing Catherine Peggington as the lay member, as Mr John Baker has handed his resignation in, so that's not actually accurate. It should say Catherine Peggington. So I just wanted to draw that to your attention.
Councillor Burnett.
Thank you very much. Yeah, on the outside bodies, Councillor Gwyn Jenkins to come off the Coalfield Communities, and Councillor Louise Shepherd to come off Pontypool Regeneration Partnership. Thank you very much.
Richard.
Thank you, Presiding Member. You've stolen a little bit of my thunder. You'll see there's one to be confirmed and there's a couple to be confirmed on the paper. I will run through them. If members have burning desires to be on those, if they approach myself and the leader, we can fill those at the appropriate time. Can I apologise for some mistakes on the paper? Cwmbran Community Trust, Joe Gordon replaced Colette Thomas, and that went to council earlier in the last session. I think it's only appropriate she's just finding her feet on there. It would be unfair to Joe to take her off straight away, though she might have a different opinion. And similarly, Torvine Leisure Trust has Rose listed, and Giles Davis was appointed by council barely a few months ago, and the same applies. He's just finding his feet on there. In respect of Llantarnam Grange Arts Centre, again, that's a to-be-confirmed one, so if members feel so theatrical they want to be part of that, they can contact the leader and myself. Rural Local Action Group, we'd like to propose Stuart Ashley as the to-be-confirmed member there, and I think that's it. So with the offer for members to come and speak to us, I move and note the report.
Thank you. Do we have a seconder for that? Yeah, okay, so if we have a show of hands, those in favour. Anybody against? Any abstentions? Thank you, that's approved. Okay, so we're looking at agenda item 11. This is nominations to outside bodies. Again, the list has been circulated. Does anybody want to comment on that?
Yeah, Richard's already gone through that. So
right.
Sorry, I think we just need to
okay.
get Richard to confirm.
Okay, so Richard, can you confirm that's been done? Yeah, so you...
I refer to the remarks I made earlier.
Yeah. Okay, so we're all still happy with that. Okay. Right. That's the end of this council meeting. We're going to take a short break and then return for the full council meeting. So thank you for everybody for attendance and contributions. Can I remind you to sign the attendance register and the personal interest form if you haven't already. Thank you.